tramp.
Miss Ray, hold on.
Your mom is not here.
Listen. If you keep going back and forth between the two women, you gonna keep making children.
Statement. You admit that you were in a love triangle.
Yes.
Hello.
So that has 3 points.
Yes.
1, 2, who's 3?
The third.
Right off the bat, things get chaotic as Miss Hummel, whose child's paternity is to be determined, drops a bomb in the court.
He needs to get one for the other child.
What other child?
My child.
She just had a child 2 months ago.
You saying if he needs a DNA test, it's for that child?
Yes.
What's
Ms.
going on with
Fuentes,
that?
who is the other woman in this chaotic love triangle, reveals some interesting things that have the court going, ooh, ah.
She has been known to sleep around while in relationships.
Well, Miss
And
Fuentes,
some more. And this is what Judge
hate to
Lauren
bring-
has to say.
I wish we could go on looks, but we
I know.
can't in this courtroom. And the truth is, regardless of what you think and what you believe, and you can bet your bottom dollar if you want to, it still doesn't mean anything, because the truth is Mr. Pack just stated in court that he is concerned.
Back to the case at hand. Miss Hummel narrates how this love triangle came to be, and some more.
Love triangle I read about.
We started dating in 2015. We've been on and off since then, and we broke up when I was about 12 weeks pregnant because he wouldn't get a job, so I kicked his out.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Ms. Fuentes tells the court the role she played in the whole situation and how it went down from there.
So, Miss Fuentes, did you know Miss Hummel was pregnant?
I did, and we actually didn't get together. He did come over to my house, and we talked about it. I actually tried to convince him to get back with her because I felt like he needed to work something out with her as far as the baby goes, because I know how it feels to not have your kids in your life or whatever it may be, and I've been through this before, you know what I mean? I have 6 kids, okay?
And then all parties give their version of how the paternity doubt developed.
That happened?
Yes.
3 days later, and as we're going down the street to my friend's house, we saw her walking out of a house with another man. So he has reasonable doubt to think that this baby is not his.
The doubt didn't begin at the breakup. The doubt began when he saw her with another man.
Yes.
Mr. Pack says he wants the DNA test result before he can be fully involved in the child's care. And then Ms. Hummel tells the court her expectations in return.
Oh yeah, 110% I know that this child, my daughter, is his. Look at her, like.
No, she's not.
Most of the days to prove to her that I am not the father, and she's going after the wrong guy.
The DNA test result for this hearing reveals.
So, Jerome, let me have the result, please. When it comes to 8-month-old Lola Hummel, Mr. Pack, you are the father.
I told you.
As for the other case between Ms. Fuentes and Mr. Pack, the paternity test result reveals.
When it comes to 2-month-old Anthony Pack, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Pack, you are the father.
Finally, Judge Lauren wraps up the case with this.
If you keep going back and forth between the two women, you gonna keep making children. You all gotta find a way to break through this.
Yes.
We have counseling and resources for you all. Please take advantage of it. Figure out how to have this blended family of sorts where you put the children and their welfare and their well-being first. I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned. Thank you.
This case starts with so much chaos as Mr. Thomas denies strongly that he didn't make this promise to Ms. Brown.
Say the defendant, Mr. Thomas, one of the potential fathers, promised to marry you and care for your baby when he was born 3 years ago, but then disappeared. Mr. Thomas, now set the record straight. Did you or did you not promise to marry Ms. Brown after you found out she was pregnant?
Your Honor, the devil is a liar. I never promised to marry her, Your Honor.
Ms. Brown counters Mr. Thomas, with this leading to more chaos.
What did he promise you?
Your Honor, when I found that I was pregnant, true enough, I did not tell him I was pregnant when it happened because I did not want to have a child at that time. I was younger and more immature than where I stand right here today. Okay,
I wanna say
so
something.
Talk to my mother like that.
therefore, we went
Disrespectful.
before. I'm
Disrespect my
sorry,
mother.
I'm sorry, but he's lying. I don't know what he told you, but that is a lie.
Okay,
Flat out
Ms.
lie.
Brown.
Ms. Brown describes how she met Mr. Thomas, and then the drama began, causing Judge Lauren to say this.
You need to
Your
shut up.
Honor.
I cannot hear.
Never.
You know what? I got a lot of other things I could be doing right now than listen to two grown people talk over one another. So much so that I can't even understand what either one of them is saying. It's just ridiculous.
Ms. Brown became emotional and tells the court why.
Miss Brown, you're emotional. What is it? Just seeing your baby?
Because it's been 3 years, going on 4, and he promised that he was gonna be there.
And here comes the love triangle plot
He
twist.
started being with other women. Now, we were supposed to be in a relationship, okay?
Okay,
never was
stop
in a
there.
relationship.
You admit that you were in a love triangle.
Yes,
Hello.
So that has 3 points.
Huh.
yes.
1, 2, who's 3?
Huh.
The
A
third
co-worker.
person.
And some more drama relating to the conception of the baby, whose paternity is in question.
I kept being friends with a young man. We weren't sexually active after the fact that we stopped talking. But I did have one moment of conception, and I did have sex with this young man one time.
Then, Ms. Jacqueline Thomas, Mr. Thomas's mother, tried to shed more light on the situation, but it ended up in more chaos.
She don't even know herself, and she gonna bring somebody on court. She should.
You don't know me, so how you gonna say you
God
don't know
knows.
myself?
God knows.
You,
Don't talk to
God
my
does
mother
know.
like
And
Do
then she
you
gonna
know
make-
God?
disrespect my mother.
I'm not disrespecting her, but
man,
she's not gonna
disrespect
talk
my
about
mother.
Get some order.
Judge Lauren then proceeds to ask a vital question.
How has this affected Legend, Miss Brown?
Well,
He's 3 years old. Does he have anybody that he can call daddy?
No, absolutely not. I would not allow that.
And finally, the DNA test result proves that
When it comes to 3-year-old Legend Amari Brown, Mr. Thomas, you are his father.
this case starts with all parties going off.
I have attempted, after my son was born, to reach out to him to just buy simple things, diapers, water, milk, whatever my son may need at the time.
Mr. Diaz, Ms. Jarquin's brother, explains the whole situation and his involvement in it.
I'm saying that I've been with my sister 24/7. I was there since she met him. And ever since they got together and I found out that she was pregnant, she said it in front of him. So he been knew she was pregnant because he moved in with us. But yeah, I seen her taking care of him. She will buy things for him all the time.
And then I did,
And I would get mad at
tell
him,
her
don't
that
buy
I don't
nothing for him.
believe.
He needs to buy
I don't
things for
believe.
you.
And some more revelations.
Don't believe.
So he been knew she was pregnant. He just lying because he don't want to step up because he already got 2 kids with her. So, okay, so if you know what you was doing, all right, you need to step up to it, bro.
Mr. Burns then explains his exhibit that proves he isn't the father of the child.
Explain to the court what this exhibit outlines.
Okay, so my first date going over her house was July 6th, and we had sex that night, you know.
All right, July 6th.
You know, and everything was cool, you know. She tells me that she's pregnant 3 weeks later. My first thought was, dang, that was quick. You know, she must have already been pregnant.
And there's more.
You know, the doctor tell her that she's 12 weeks and 6 days, right? 12 weeks and 6 days.
Ms. Jarquin counters what Mr. Burns says, but that's not all.
No. What he's talking about, I had been left that relationship a month prior to me meeting him.
Were you intimate with that other man sometime in June?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Mr. Burns tells the court about his other doubt, which Ms. Jarquin disputes.
I found, you know, condom wrappers and under her bed, and like she'd be on the phone with, you know, other dudes and tell me, you know, saying just be quiet, just be quiet.
Ms. Nobles, a witness for Mr. Burns, sheds more light on the situation, but Ms. Jarquin confesses some shocking things.
Apparently, she has doubts as well, because when we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we met in person, and she said, if it is his, I just want to take full custody. I want to put him on child support. I don't want him to have anything to do with the baby.
We was both pregnant at the same time, pretty much. So that pretty much confirms how he was sleeping with both of us at the same time.
Right.
So let me just put that out there before I say this, okay?
He's not denying that.
No.
This revelation makes Ms. Jarquin emotional as she recounts all she has been through.
Ms. Jarquin, you're stating that you have no father's name on your child's birth certificate.
I do not, Your Honor.
And that hurts you. I can see that bothers you.
It does.
I have 3 other kids by one man.
After all the chaos, the DNA test result reveals, and Judge Lawrence sounds a note of caution to Mr. Burns.
When it comes to 4-month-old Myvan Diaz, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Burns, you are the father.
Ms. Rayford goes off and creates drama as she explains to the court Mr. Freeman's lack of involvement in the parenting of their son.
What has Mr. Freeman done for him?
Mr. Freeman hasn't done nothing. He has been a deadbeat. He refused to step up to the plate ever since he got with this Miss Triplet.
Hold on, first of all,
Ladies.
Mr. Freeman tries to give his version of the story, but it ends up in this chaos.
I don't believe he's my son. I tried multiple times to come to Trina's house and deliver stuff. I brought things for the child, you know what I'm saying? And she's neglecting me, told me I don't need your stuff.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rayford?
Nah, he referring to the stuff that he bought with Pampers, clothes, and stuff like that. Girl, stop playing. Nope, I thought he made a wrong move when he went over there with you.
Hold on.
Ms. Rayford acknowledges Mr. Freeman's acceptance of the baby, and Mr. Freeman tells the court what Ms. Rayford meant to him when they met. And this happened.
For the baby.
So in your mind, when he brought those things, he was accepting Terry. He was saying, this is for the baby.
Yeah, he had been accepting Terry. He was there at the hospital. He said, yeah, he looks just like me. He said, I acknowledge it's my son.
No, he didn't, Your Honor. He said
you don't know where he
Hold on. Hey, Miss Triplet, I'm going to give you all a chance
like
to
she was there in a room with us.
So, Ms. Rayford.
I know you wish she was.
Ms. Rayford.
Ain't no way I would, you nasty tramp.
Ms. Rayford, hold on.
Your mom is not here.
Listen. Ladies, you all are making fools of yourselves. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Ms. Rayford goes on to dispute the accusations Mr. Freeman made, and that Ms. Triplet, his current girlfriend, did this.
We met in December on a dating site. It was New Year's, and I wasn't expecting a baby and all these shenanigans out of the situation. So I picked him up, and we hung out, brought in New Year's. We had a good time. Now, I came from California to Memphis. And when I came to Memphis, I met 2 men. And I probably should have went with the first, but he was the second one. The first, and the relationship kind of overlapped.
Okay.
I am mature enough to know that, when you have sex, you wear a condom. And so I did do that with the other guy in January. So fast forward, he decided, because he had knew about the other guy, because I told him. And so he said, well, I want to be with you exclusively. And we were planning on moving in together, which by the end of February, we did.
Judge Lauren didn't allow it to slide, as she did this.
If you got a cough you can't control, we can send you home. And
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
deal with it and get you some medicine.
Okay. I might need that.
Okay, we can.
Yes.
I've asked you at least 2 times now. Just stop being ignorant. Just stop.
Ms. Rayford explains to the court how this whole situation came to be, and Mr. Freeman and Ms. Triplet chipped in their claims.
Okay, I had to go to California and take care of some business. And so we were living together at the time. So he didn't have money for a plane ticket, and because we were expecting a child, it was not responsible to buy him a plane ticket where he didn't need to go, where he had a job.
So you're pregnant?
Yes, I'm pregnant. By this time, end of February, I'm pregnant.
Your Honor, she was not pregnant before she went to California.
Okay, stop. Now this is where it gets interesting. Now, Ms. Triplet, I want to know from you.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you with Mr. Freeman during the time that in February?
Yes, ma'am.
You
I
all
was.
had started dating?
Yes.
And having sex?
Yes.
So now, Ms. Rayford, when you went to California, you were already pregnant.
I never saw proof that she was pregnant.
She never told you she was pregnant?
Never told me.
Ms. Rayford stirs more drama with these revelations.
While I was gone to California, he was back fraternizing with her, gambling, hoarding, being irresponsible.
Did you go out with anybody, date anybody, or sleep with anybody?
I'm pregnant. I wasn't thinking about no other man. My man was supposed to be in Memphis. We were living together.
All right, hold on.
After each party had their final say, the DNA test result reveals, which also leads to chaos.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
You
are
not.
Keep hope alive. But you wrong today.
You are the father.